I want you to imagine a scenario right now where you are in the bedroom and the lights are dim and the energy is palpable. But there is this heavy silence that feels like a war between two people who clearly want each other but are terrified of making the wrong move, because we have been conditioned to believe that intimacy is purely physical, when the reality is that the most explosive and memorable experiences happen in the mind before they ever happen to the body. You see, most people think that turning a guy on is about wearing the right outfit or having the perfect body or knowing some secret move from a magazine, but the truth is that men are starved for auditory feedback, and they are desperate to know that you are not just a participant but an enthusiastic co-conspirator in the mischief you are about to get into. We are going to talk about 7 spicy things to say that will drive him absolute bonkers. But before we get to the specific scripts, I need you to understand the psychology of why this works, because if you just say the words like you are reading a grocery list, it is going to fall flat and feel awkward. But if you say them with the intention of owning your desire, you become the most magnetic person in the room. The first thing you have to realize is that men are often carrying a massive amount of anxiety about performance and whether or not you are enjoying yourself. So when you use your voice, you are essentially giving him a roadmap and permission to let go of control. And when a man feels safe enough to lose control, that is when the passion goes through the roof. We often hear that men are visual creatures, and while that is true to an extent, they are also incredibly ego-driven creatures in the bedroom. And I do not mean that in a negative way. I mean that his turn on is directly linked to how much he feels he is affecting you. If he feels like he is rocking your world, he gets more into it. But if he feels like he is doing a solo performance, he will eventually check out. So the first category of things we need to say are what I call the anticipation builders, because the biggest mistake women make is waiting until the clothes are off to start the verbal game, but the seduction starts way before that. Phrase number 1 is all about planting a seed in his brain that will grow throughout the day until he can barely concentrate on his work or his gym session or whatever else he is doing. I want you to text him or whisper in his ear when you are out in public something like, I was having a really naughty dream about you last night and I woke up feeling so frustrated. Now, let's break down why this is so powerful. You are not being explicitly vulgar. You are not sending a photo that could get leaked. You are simply telling him that he invaded your subconscious mind. You are saying that even when you are asleep, he has this power over you, and that is intoxicating for a guy. It also creates a curiosity gap, because he is immediately going to ask what happened in the dream, and now you have the power, because you can choose to tell him, or you can play coy and say, maybe I will show you later. This sets the stage for the entire evening, because now every time he looks at you, he is wondering what that dream was, and he is imagining it, and his imagination is going to be far more vivid and effective than anything you could spell out for him. It is about creating a vacuum that he wants to fill with his presence. When you use a phrase like that, you are also signaling that you are a sexual being who thinks about intimacy, which is a huge relief for men, because society often paints women as the gatekeepers of sex, who only do it as a favor. But when you show that you have your own cravings, it takes the pressure off him to be the initiator every single time. Now let's move to the heat of the moment, because once things are getting started, you want to shift from anticipation to ownership. This leads us to phrase number 2, which is arguably one of the most primal things you can say to a guy, and it requires a bit of confidence. But I promise you, the reaction you get will be worth the fear of saying it. I want you to look him in the eyes, right, when things are getting heavy, and say, you have no idea what I am going to do to you. Notice the shift in dynamic here, because usually we think of the guy as the one doing the things, but when you flip the script and take the active role of the aggressor in a playful way, it drives men wild. It triggers that part of his brain that wants to be wanted. It is not just about him pursuing you, it is about you having an appetite for him. When you say you have no idea what I am going to do to you, it is a promise and a threat all wrapped up in one delicious package. It tells him to buckle up, because you are about to take the wheel. And the beauty of this phrase is that you do not even have to have a specific plan, you just have to have the attitude that you are going to enjoy him. The dirty talk here isn't about using foul language, it is about the raw expression of intent. It is about removing the filter that says, good girls don't talk like that, and replace it with the reality that you are a grown woman who knows what she wants. Think about the contrast, because contrast is sexy. If you are normally sweet and polite, and put together during the day, and then suddenly you drop your voice an octave and deliver a line like that. It creates a shock to his system that wakes him up. He sees a different side of you, a side that is reserved only for him, and that exclusivity is a massive turn on. We have to stop being so polite in the bedroom, because politeness is the enemy of passion. You cannot be worrying about whether you sound silly or if your grammar is correct. You have to be in the feeling. And speaking of feelings, let's talk about the auditory feedback loop. When you are quiet, he has to guess if he is doing it right, and that guessing game takes him out of the moment. But when you vocalize, you keep him present. This brings us to the importance of specifics. General noises are great, but specific words anchor the experience. Phrase number 2 works so well because it is a specific statement of intent. It puts you in the driver's seat. Now, I know some of you are thinking, Matthew, I could never say that I would burst out laughing. And you know what? If you laugh, that is fine too, because playfulness is sexy. If you say it and then giggle, it shows you are comfortable, and comfort leads to better intimacy. Do not try to be a porn star. Just try to be the most uninhibited version of yourself. The goal isn't to follow a script perfectly. It is to use these scripts to break the ice of your own inhibitions. When you say, I was having a naughty dream about you, you are opening the door. When you say you have no idea what I am going to do to you, you are walking through the door and dragging him with you. And we are just getting started, because the next few phrases are about escalating that tension and playing with the power dynamic in a way that makes him feel like the only man on earth. You have to understand that a man's confidence is fragile in this arena, even if he acts like a gladiator. He needs that reassurance that he is the one turning you on. So when you verbalize your desire, you are essentially fueling his engine. You are pouring gasoline on the fire. And the more you do it, the more comfortable it becomes, until it is just a natural part of your dynamic. Imagine the difference between a silent encounter and one where you are whispering these things in his ear. The silent one might be physically pleasurable, but the one with the words is emotionally charging. It creates a memory. He is going to be at work the next day, replaying the sound of your voice saying those words. That is how you get in his head. That is how you become unforgettable. It is not about the physical technique. It is about the emotional imprint you leave and words of a chisel you use to make that imprint. So I want you to practice these in the mirror if you have to. Get comfortable with the sound of your own voice saying things that are a little bit edgy, a little bit risque. It is your right to express your pleasure and your desire. Now, as we move into the next batch, we are going to get into the phrases that play with control and submission and validation, because that is where the real fireworks happen. But for now, just sit with the idea that your voice is an instrument and you have been playing it on mute for too long. It is time to turn the volume up. It is time to let him know exactly what is on your mind, because trust me, he is dying to hear it. The brain is the biggest sex organ, and you have to stimulate it if you want the body to follow suit. So don't just lay there waiting for him to read your mind. Speak up. Tell him about the dream. Tell him what you are going to do to him. Watch his eyes dilate. Watch his breathing change. That reaction is your power. And once you taste that power, you are never going to want to be silent again. Now that we have established the foundation of anticipation and taking ownership, we need to dive into the deep end of the pool, where we play with the dynamic of challenge and vulnerability, because this is where the connection goes from just having fun to something that feels electric and almost spiritual. We are talking about the kind of intimacy that makes the rest of the world disappear. So let's look at phrase number 3, which is designed to trigger his hunter instinct. Men have this evolutionary drive to pursue and to conquer, and sometimes in long-term relationship, that dynamic gets lost because everything becomes too easy and predictable. You want to reintroduce a little bit of friction, a little bit of a playful struggle. So phrase number 3 is very simple, but devastatingly effective. I want you to whisper against his lips when he is trying to do something you like. Make me. Now listen to the power of those 2 words. Make me. It is defiant, it is bratty, and it is incredibly hot, because it is a direct challenge. You are throwing down the gauntlet. You are saying, I am not just going to give it to you. You have to earn it. You have to take it. This shifts him instantly into a more dominant headspace, which for most men is a massive turn on, because they spend their whole lives having to be polite and careful and follow the rules. And suddenly you are giving him permission to be a little bit primal. You are inviting him to overcome your resistance. but it is a safe resistance because the context is intimacy. You are not actually saying no, you are saying convince me. You are engaging in a play fight. And the beauty of make me is that it can be used in so many contexts. Maybe he wants you to come over and you are tired and he says, come on, and you say, make me. Suddenly the banter starts. Suddenly he has to woo you or seduce you. In the bedroom, if he tells you to get into a certain position and you say, make me, it adds this layer of spicy tension where he has to physically guide you, and that physical assertion builds the heat. It is a game, and relationships die when people stop playing games. I don't mean mind games where you hurt each other, I mean play. Play is the antidote to boredom. So be a little bit of a brat. Be a little bit difficult in a way that is fun. He will love you for it because it makes him feel strong when he finally gets what he wants. Now, on the complete opposite side of the spectrum, we have phrase number 4, which is about deep validation and appreciation, because while men like the challenge, they also need to know that they are succeeding. We live in a world where men are rarely complimented on their prowess or their ability to provide pleasure. So phrase number 4 is all about reinforcing the behavior you like. I want you to say, I love how you handle my body. Or if you want to be a bit more slangy and raw, you can say, I love the way you work it. When you say this, you are doing 2 things. First, you are giving him a massive ego boost. You are telling him that he is skilled, that he knows what he is doing, and that makes him feel like a king. Second, you are training him. If he does something you like and you verbally reward him, he's going to do that thing again and again. It is positive reinforcement 101. But more than that, using the word handle implies that you are something precious or something wild that needs to be managed. And that is a very sexy dynamic. It acknowledges his strength and your surrender to it. It is not just that feels good, which is nice, but generic. It is, I love how you are doing this to me. It makes it personal. It connects the action to his identity. You are validating him as a lover. And when a man feels validated, he becomes more generous. He wants to please you even more because he knows you notice and appreciate the effort. It creates a virtuous cycle of pleasure. Now, let's get a little messier with phrase number 5. This one is about losing control. There is nothing that turns a guy on more than seeing the woman he desires completely unraveling because of him. He wants to know that he is the cause of your loss of composure. So phrase number 5 is simply, I can't control myself around you. Or a variation like, you make me so crazy. When you admit that you have lost control, you are giving him the ultimate compliment. You are saying that his presence, his touch, his energy is so potent that it overrides your logic and your defenses. It is a confession of vulnerability. And in that vulnerability, there is immense power because you're letting him see the raw effect he has on you. Think about it. We spend all day holding it together. We hold it together at work, with our families, with our friends. We are composed. So when you are with him and you let that composition crack, that is intimacy. That is letting him behind the curtain. And when you verbalize it with, I can't control myself, you are also giving yourself permission to let go. You are saying it out loud so your brain believes it. You are stepping out of the driver's seat and letting the sensation take over. It creates this frantic, urgent energy that is incredibly exciting. It tells him that this isn't just a routine for you. This is an overwhelming experience, and he wants to be the one who overwhelms you. He wants to be the drug that you can't get enough of. So tell him he is. Don't keep it a secret. If his touch makes you shiver, tell him. If his kiss makes your knees weak, tell him. You make me weak is another great variation. It appeals to his protective, dominant instinct. He wants to be the strong one who catches you. These phrases make me, I love how you handle me, I can't control myself. They cover the full spectrum of the dynamic. The challenge, the validation, and the surrender. You are pushing him away, playfully pulling him close with praise, and then melting in his arms. It is a dance. And the music is your voice. You have to understand that silence can be interpreted as boredom or distraction. But words are unambiguous. Words cut through the insecurity. When you use these slang terms, when you get a little bit dirty, you are signaling that you are present and you are hungry. And a hungry partner is the best partner. You are not there to just facilitate his release. You are there to consume him just as much as he consumes you. That mutual consumption is what we are aiming for. And it starts with the courage to open your mouth and say something that might feel a little bit risky, because the risk is where the thrill is. If it feels safe, it probably isn't that exciting. So lean into the cringe a little bit. Lean into the fear. Say the thing that makes you blush, because if it makes you blush, it is definitely going to make his heart race. We are building a narrative here, a story of two people who are absolutely obsessed with each other. And you are the narrator. You get to set the pace. You get to direct the scene. So use these phrases as your directorial cues. When you want him to be more aggressive, use the challenge. When you want him to keep doing what he is doing, use the validation. When you want him to know he is one, use the surrender. It is a toolkit. And like any toolkit, you have to practice using it until it feels like an extension of your own hand, or in this case, your own voice. Don't worry about being perfect. Worry about being real. Worry about being raw. That is what he wants. He wants you. The real, messy, loud, passionate you. We have built the anticipation. We have played the games of challenge and surrender, and now we are at the peak of the experience where things need to get incredibly specific and instructive. Because this is the moment where you can literally choreograph your own satisfaction while simultaneously driving him wild with the knowledge that he is hitting the spot. This brings us to phrase number 6, which is the instruction. A lot of women are afraid to give instructions because they think it kills the mood or makes them seem bossy or demanding. But I am here to tell you that nothing is hotter to a guy than a woman who knows what she wants and tells him how to give it to her. It takes the guesswork out of it. So phrase number 6 is short and sharp. It is right there, don't stop, or keep doing exactly that. It sounds simple, but let's look at the slangier, dirtier version. You can say, wreck me right there. The word wreck implies a level of intensity and abandon that is very turning on. It is not polite. It is not please touch me here. It is destroy me with pleasure. When you give this kind of direct feedback, you are acting like a GPS for his efforts. He wants to get to the destination, which is your pleasure, but sometimes he is driving blind. When you say right there, the green light goes on in his head. He feels successful, he feels capable, and he will double down on his effort. It creates a feedback loop of intensity. He pushes, you validate and instruct, he pushes harder. It is a collaborative effort. Do not be afraid to use your voice to guide him. You can even get more descriptive. Tell him deeper, harder, faster. These are not just instructions, they are amplifiers. They amplify the energy in the room. And don't shy away from using the slang terms for your body parts or his. Clinical terms are for the doctor's office. In the bedroom, you want to use words that have heat attached to them. Words that feel a bit naughty to say. That naughtiness is the spice. It reminds you both that you are doing something primal and private. If you are too shy to say the words, start with the sounds. Moans and gasps are the precursors to dirty talk, but eventually try to form the words, I need your slang right now. It is demanding, and it is needy in the best possible way. It shows an urgency that is incredibly flattering to him. He wants to be needed. He wants to be the only thing that can satisfy that need. So give him the map. Phrase number 7 is the final piece of the puzzle, and this one is for the aftermath or the cool down. This is what cements the experience in his mind and ensures that he will be thinking about it for days to come. It is the memory anchor. After everything is done and you are lying there, instead of just reaching for your phone or talking about what to order for dinner, look him in the eye and say, I am not going to forget that for a long time. Or say, you completely ruined me for anyone else. This is the ultimate ego stroke. You are telling him that the experience was not just good, it was transformative, it was memorable. You are validating his performance in the most profound way. You ruined me is such a great slang phrase because it implies that he has set the bar so high that nobody else can reach it. It makes him feel secure in his position as your lover. It creates a bond, and it also acts as a challenge for next time, because now he has a reputation to uphold. He has to be the guy who ruins you every time. It sets a standard of excellence for your intimacy. You can also whisper specific things you liked. I loved it when you did 10th. My legs are still shaking. These little comments are the receipts. You are giving him the receipts of his work, and he will cherish them. He will replay those words. Intimacy doesn't end when the physical act ends. It ends when the connection is broken. By using this aftermath phrase, you extend the connection. You create a glow that lasts. So there you have it. 7 categories of things to say. From the anticipation of the dream to the ownership of what I'm going to do to you, to the challenge of make me, to the validation of how you handle me, to the vulnerability of losing control to the instruction of right there. And finally, the memory of you ruined me. It is a complete narrative arc. And I want to leave you with this final thought. The words themselves are just tools. The real magic comes from your permission to be yourself, to be a sexual being, to be loud, to be messy, to be demanding. Society tells women to be quiet and small. I am telling you to be loud and take up space. Your pleasure is not a burden. It is a gift. You give to him. When you vocalize your pleasure, you are giving him the gift of knowing he is enough. You are giving him the gift of his own masculinity. So do not hold back. If it pops into your head, say it. If you want it, ask for it. If you like it, scream it. Because at the end of the day, we are all just looking for that connection, that feeling of being seen and heard and desired. And your voice is the bridge that connects you to him. So cross that bridge, burn the boats, and enjoy the fire you create together. It is supposed to be fun. It is supposed to be play. So go out there and play. And remember, the sexiest thing you can wear is your confidence. And the sexiest thing you can say is your truth. Now go get him.